So if we look at, and maybe I'll go around the room, when you think of marketing, what do you think of? Tom, maybe you go first.
Selling your services.
Yep. Daron?
Building up a picture that people can relate to.
Yep.
And buy into.
Yep, for sure.
The idea is to buy into the picture that was supplying them.
Absolutely. Sergio?
Yeah, more or less the same. It's building up an image of what the company is and does.
Yep, absolutely.
In the best possible angle.
Yep. And James, what do you think?
Afternoon drinks.
Afternoon drinks. Love it. That's a good one. I like that one. So many bad connotations around marketing, let me tell you. So I think, and none of you are wrong, even James. So for me, when I break down marketing, and sometimes people overcomplicate it, right? So for me, it's every touch point in and around your business, to how you answer the phone, to how you're dressed, to what your uniform looks like, to what your email signature looks like, to the report that you send across, to the language in the email that you write. All those things build up an image. Sergio, I think he's got a background in marketing, builds up an image or a perception around what it is that your business and your brand actually does and actually stands for. And the thing about that is that the first thing that we try to work with our clients is what is that image or that perception that we want to create as a business. So for you guys, your positioning is an international fire engineering consultancy. So the goal is, and if we've done our job properly as your marketing consultant, is to make sure that positioning, so when I say positioning, I'm talking about positioning in the minds of your clients and customers that is a bit different to the competition. You're in a bit of a competitive space, so we want to make sure that you are positioning your business and your brand in the minds of your customers that is different to some of those competitors. And if I look at your positioning there, obviously the international bit is key, gives you a bit of prestige and a bit of leadership around what you do. And also you've been doing, how long have you guys been in business for? You've got the grey hairs.
Same age, yeah.
25?
Nearly 30 years I've been doing this, but
Yeah.
we've been around since 2008.
Okay, so it's almost same as us, so about 15 years.
Global financial.
Yeah, we started just before that as well. So that automatically shows some expertise. So in terms of those touch points, if you look at that international fire engineering consultancy, is that message something that you talk about within your clients or your customers or your stakeholders? Sergio, do you kind of bring that up at all?
No, I don't often do that.
Yep.
Mainly because I'm focused, as I said, to one major customer, which
Yep.
is in the airport, right? So I'm not particularly pressing that point.
That's okay. So then when someone says, so if someone was to ask you at a barbecue on the weekend, what do you do? What's your answer? And maybe everyone can go. You go first, Tom. What's your answer?
So my initial answer would be fire safety engineering.
Yep.
That's our specialist.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we specialise in.
Yep.
We do branch off into other areas.
Yep.
As well, but that would be the main point that I would bring up.
Yeah. Okay. Daron, when people ask you, like, what do you? Oh, Daron, you got your own business. What do you do? What do you say?
I make this world a safer place.
Is that what you say?
I say that. Yeah.
And then they obviously, they say, oh, what do you? So tell me more.
Pitch, right?
Yeah. So then, what do you say?
And then I break it down to what it is, and it's breaking down what Tom says. That we do anything that has to do with fire and fire safety, and
Yep.
Building up a relationship with clients and getting them to understand what we do. It takes time.
Yeah.
But
It takes time, as in to communicate that. You mean?
Nobody knows what fire engineering is in the industry, so it's a very small niche. So in order to be able to explain that, it does take a bit of time, obviously. But if you hit them with a straight off, we're making this place safer, this world a safer place, and it does it catches their attention, and then they have the time to break it down.
I think it's really because you don't know who your next client or your next customer is, right? You just don't know. So you guys need to have a think about what are the easy ways to communicate what you do to the layperson. So if you were to just walk down the cafe and tell the girl making the coffees, hey, this is what we do, would she understand that straight away? So maybe have a think about internally what that really simple, and I like we make the world a safer place, because people go, okay, so tell me more. So then
it's an immediate response to that.
Yeah.
I also use the same. He told me that a long time ago.
Yeah.
the response is immediate. Oh, really? How?
Yeah.
Everyone is asking.
And some people might not feel comfortable to give that as an answer. Like Tom might go, I feel really awkward giving that as an answer.
Generation thing.
Right? But I would probably feel awkward saying that as well, right? And everyone's different. So it's about thinking what are you most comfortable with to make it really easy for people to understand what you guys do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I can see Tom laughing because he's agreeing with me, I think.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. In terms of the audience and who we're speaking to, so tell me you mentioned strata managers and building managers. So who are the type of people that you guys are dealing with? What are their roles?
So I talk with architects, building owners, developers, strata managers, obviously on a day-to-day, project managers, architects, anybody that's in the building industry.
Yep.
Per se, literally anybody in the building industry. One day might need their building to be safer.
Yep.
And therefore they come to us and ask us for help.
Yep. And do you think that audience? Do you think all their motivations are all a little bit different to each other's?
I've narrowed it down to maybe 5 different questions that you batch it into 5 different areas.
Yeah.
And anybody that I talk to on the telephone will fall into one of those 5.
Yeah, okay. And do you share that information with the team for them to kind of understand that a little bit?
I don't think we've ever had a sit down talking about marketing internally.
All right.
I know Tom has got a bit of responsibility with the SEO, so he sees that involvement.
Okay.
Sergio, I know, is very experienced in marketing.
Yep.
So that we've never had to sit down and say how we're going to market ourselves. But we do have conversations about it, but never a dedicated conversation.
Yeah, and maybe and I'm not trying to put work on anyone's list here, but Duran's shaking his head, but maybe just there's a one-pager that kind of summarises some of those conversations, and under each of the audiences, what are some of their motivations? It could be something that just to spend an hour or two just to kind of document, or just so you're all kind of seeing off the same sheet. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, cool. The message. Because you want to make sure that wherever people hear or see you, that the message is always the same and always consistent. So when we talk about consistency, we talk about, for me, there's always 4 key things that make marketing successful. So one, it's that positioning. So positioning your brand in the minds of your customers that is different to the competition. So we've got that here. The second is about making sure that we're consistent in using that same message. So not altering or deviating from that core message and using that same message over and over again and being repetitive. The third is being frequent in that communication. So if we look at the frequency part, so in terms of the amount of activity that you guys do from a marketing perspective, so we do a bit of social media with you guys are doing the SEO internally, we're doing the AdWords for you, we're doing the reporting for you. Is there anything else internally that you guys are doing from a marketing perspective that you wanted to talk about? And maybe there isn't, which is fine.
Well, I have ongoing. I think I'm marketing maybe a day a week.
Okay.
10% of my time is developed on.
And what does that include? What are you physically doing?
Clients,
Yep.
new people, potential clients,
Yep.
developing different areas of the business.
So a bit of networking.
Continuously networking.
Yeah.
The spider web's getting bigger and bigger.
Absolutely. So then that third one was the consistency, so the frequency. And then the fourth is about doing it more than the competition. I always say, and we mention it in the book, we always say that your clients might not need you today, or potential clients may not need you today, tomorrow, or next week. But when the time comes and they think, oh yeah, I remember that easy conversation I had with Tom at the barbecue, or Sergio at the airport, or wherever, they're going to go, oh yeah, I remember what those guys do, I should give them a call.
And that's why I usually start the conversation with, we make this world a safer place, because that sticks in their mind. Not the rest of the bullshit that comes up.
Yeah.
It's those 4 words.
Yeah.
So that's
The rest of the marketing material, you don't refer to that as what you said, bullshit.
Yes, sorry, yes. That's experience, right?
Yep. Yep.
Comes with age.
So it's about communicating more. We want to be able to communicate more than the competition. So we always have clients or potential clients say to us, I don't want to feel like I'm over communicating because I feel like I'm spamming, or it's like really obvious, and it's like, you know what, who cares? Because when the time comes and someone wants to choose a fire engineering consultancy, if you've been in their minds and being top of mind more regularly than the competition, then you have at least a better chance of them choosing you, or a better chance of success. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Actually, on that note, I think we were talking about maybe doing some EDMs. We talked about it a few months ago. Okay, cool. If we talk about marketing and the conversations that maybe you do have with people or clients or stakeholders, is there anything that's difficult or that gets in the way when you have those conversations, or makes it awkward or uncomfortable?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think I've been doing it for such a long time. There's not much, as I said, it's coming over and over again.
Being natural.
It's natural. You know your spiel. You know what you're selling. You know what your capabilities are.
Yeah.
It comes across very professional.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
And it's about being, and this is more sales and marketing, but it's about everyone feeling comfortable with having just those general conversations, and being consistent in that message that you put out there.
Even the feedback that I'm getting regarding the other engineers in the office, and I won't name names, Tom for instance, but the people that are coming back and saying that they've met with Tom and the way that he comes across, being very, very professional, is very positive.
Yeah, awesome.
And I think that gratitude needs to go where it needs to be.
Good work, Tom.
He's got very good phone mannerisms.
There you go. For instance.
Perfect.
So that is a positive. At the end of the day, you're selling a person. You're not selling the business. You're selling the capability of one person.
Yep.
The one person relationship with some other person. And if we have that capability here, then it does help the business grow.
Yeah, for sure. Do you guys have? Are we in uniforms when we're out on site?
We are 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Perfect. And how many?
Not every day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but when you're out on site, generally uniforms.
Generally.
Yeah. Okay. We went and spoke to a painting company a few months ago, and spoke to their team. They got about 25 painters. They do strata, building maintenance, government, museums, all that stuff. And they were talking about just having like some of those conversations when you're out on site. And we did the calculations. So how many people do you think that you would speak to when you're out on site every day? Different people.
Different
Depends.
People.
Or different companies.
It depends on the time of
Yeah.
the year, because we do a round of the buildings every year to do the FSS, so you speak with different tenants, right? Different people representing the tenant every year. Right?
Yep.
And in the front of contractors that are doing work, they regularly replace them. I would say an average of 1 or 2 a day.
Yeah.
But this comes every day. Right?
And Tom, what about you?
It changes from the job that we do.
Yep.
Like for example, where we're going through the tender process for some jobs at the moment, where we're talking to about 6 contractors, 3 or 4 different people that live in the building.
Yep.
Building managers, the strata manager.
Yep.
That's just for one job. Whereas with other jobs that we do, because the scope's already defined before it comes to me.
Yep.
I might only be talking to 1 or 2 people
Yep.
for that job.
So when we were, and the reason I asked that question, when we were talking to the painting company, so we end up doing the calculations about the number of people by just saying hello to, especially if, and that's why I asked about the uniforms, that you having contact with on a day-to-day basis, and by just saying hello and then remembering you and having a smile, that number, I think we said like there were like 20 painters and they see like 10 people a day, and they do that 5 days a week, and over a year ended up being like 3,000 different people that they interacted with that could potentially one day be some type of client or customer. So it's never, I guess, underestimating just what a hello or a how you going in the hallways or wherever you are can have on the impact of potential customers and clients.
Yesterday I helped someone get 34. There you go. I was wearing that car,
There you go. Perfect. Do you have any questions for me about marketing in general, how it impacts your business, your individuals, or just marketing in general? Anyone?
What would be a general question? What would be a budget from an annual budget of a business to be involved in marketing from your point of view?
So if I look at the average kind of middle of the range client, their average weekly investment is around that between the 400 and 500 a week, as an average over the year per week. So that's and we get that question all the time from prospective clients because they want to know what is it going to look like. Yes, it costs me whatever $2,000 to create a plan, but then what does the ongoing look like? So yeah, it's about 400 to 500 a week as an average. Yeah.
What are the benefits? Will be the next question about the investment.
Yeah, so it's making sure that when you create that plan, it's what are we trying to achieve by doing a particular activity. So when we do a marketing plan, so there's a timing plan, there's an investment allocated to that, but what's most important is that for every activity, there's some objectives and there's some actions. Yeah. So objectives, what are we trying to achieve by doing Google AdWords, for example? What's the objective? What does the investment look like? And what are the actions that you will take as a business or a marketing consultancy will take to implement those activities? So it has to be, where possible, very measurable, and people have to be accountable to what they're doing, for sure.
And how can we improve our marketing plan?
How can you improve your marketing plan? Well, it's probably perfect at the moment. I think it's probably not improving. I think it's about maybe the frequency and doing more of what you're doing. Like I said before, the fourth thing is about communicating more than your competitors. Because when the time comes, if you're communicating more than them, you have a better chance of businesses or clients choosing you. And I think there's probably other things that can be done as well, like the emails that we spoke about. I think the social media frequency can be absolutely increased. It's about just gathering that content. Those two are easy ones to start for sure.
2 points to start, we'll focus on for next year.
Yeah.
Google AdWords, is there like a version of that? Like I use DuckDuckGo on mine, but is there a version of that for other search engines like DuckDuckGo or Bing?
Yeah, I know Bing definitely has their version, and even throughout social media as well. Like social is becoming a search platform in itself on some of them. So even you can do advertising through those social platforms as well. So they all have. That's how their business models are built now, right? They're built so that you can advertise. So they all
changes recently, I've noticed as well.
Which one?
WhatsApp has changed.
Yeah.
The business model behind it now.
Yeah. So you can even advertise through there. So they all have a platform. I guess because Google is the most used one, we focus on that. Again, it's we have clients that will come to us and then go, "What activity do you think it's going to work for me?" And I'll say, "Well, it's about just being." It's those 4 steps: positioning, using the positioning, communicating a lot and doing more than your competition. But a business owner has 4 key pain points: time, money, energy, and skills. So yeah, we can do 1,000 activities, but do you have time to work with us to do that? Do you have the investment allocated to do all those activities? So it's about figuring out what activities are going to best work for that business based on their goals, their audience, their investment, their time, all those things. So,
so the context is important.
Yeah, and it's being tailored to that business. What's going to work for your business may not work for your business or your business. We'll have clients that go to us, "Oh, we want to increase our Instagram followers." I go, "That's great. Tell me why. Like, what's your objective?" "Oh, my friend next door, she's got a business and she does it." "Okay, well, she sells whatever." That's not what your business does. So I don't think Instagram is the right platform for you. Or if you've got limited investment, don't allocate it to that. Allocate it to here where your audience and your goals need to be. So it's about tailoring it. It's not like one size fits all in terms of specific activities. And these days, there are so many activities that you can do. Think about all the social platforms. Think about all the mail platforms. Think about the direct marketing you do. You can start a podcast, you can write a book, there's so many marketing activities that you can do. Absolutely. So it's about tailoring it to the business and what they're trying to achieve. That's the most important thing.
Focus.
Yep, absolutely. So to give advice to do YouTube videos, and whether it's you doing it or anyone else doing it, advice is always a good thing. And to do that via videos is great. It's just whether not every business is comfortable to do that, right? We've started to do it in the last year or two because we know that people just want to hear that stuff and hear that content, and again on the back of just positioning yourself as an expert. So, and you guys that are experts do it internationally, so I think it's a good idea. It's just whether he wants his head on camera. Yeah. So and again tailoring to the objectives, but also tailoring to the personalities of a business as well. Some things don't suit some business owners, their teams, or the brand itself. So again, it's being tailored to what you do. And we say to our clients, like, you know, we can suggest all these activities, but you've got to be comfortable with it as well. Or you've got to be comfortable with what the key message is going to be for your business and your brand. It's your business, it's your team's business. You all need to be comfortable with that. That's really important as well. Awesome. All right, thanks guys.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.